Hey guys, well, we were headed to the races at Hohenwald TRN tonight, and we ran into a little setback. We blew a tire on the trailer.
I was done.
Headed to the race, so changing it out real quick. We're gonna get back on the road.
Woo! I hope we make it. I hope we make it. That spare is sketchy.
She a little thin.
She a little thin.
Matter of fact, he had changed her.
That's why I changed it. But we hit something though, cause
yeah, because I said, when's that going off?
Yeah, the collision warning went off on the truck, and I never saw anything in the road, but whatever it was, I hit it with that tire. We're already late for the races, girl.
Instead of Rachel tearing up tires.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be taking Rachel tonight. Here, let me get back. We're supposed to be going tonight to, where was we going, Rachel?
Poplar Bluff.
Poplar Bluff.
But they rained out.
They got rained out, so Hohenwald's having a special, and all of a sudden, it's like, let's go. And of course, I was planning on running the car tomorrow night. I was going to try to go to Mississippi. Didn't have it ready. So, chaos ensued. We are scrambling for real. You know what? These are the kind of nights we win races. Hey, listen, you know. You have stuff like this, it's a good omen, girl. That's the night you win races.
Well, let's hope it's true tonight.
2,000 to win race, and we need to buy tires. Hustle, hustle, hustle.
CRUSA Street stop and the 602 late models will qualify. They'll get 2 laps, they'll do hot laps, then they'll come back and they'll have their qualifying sessions.
And in the J2, making his way to the track, it's going to be Jason Duke.
good news is I think I fixed the oil leaks finally. The bad news is I'm struggling really bad with the TCC carburetor. When I'm lifting going into the corner, it's overrunning the bowls. The bowl is overrunning and just flooding the car out. And then it's grabbing the throttle all at once and it's kicking my rear end out when it does that. I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with it right now. Well, we gotta go.
What you think about that fireworks show? Great job.
I was really hoping for better results from the races there, y'all. I felt like the Orange Crush was ready to really start moving towards the front, and I still believe I'm on the setup. Car is easy to drive. Car's easy for me to put it anywhere I want. Setup wise, I think the car is fine. I mean, I know that I need to do some more adjusting on it, but like overall, I'm where I need to be. And last night, like all night long, I was just plagued by fuel delivery problems. I'm running a ProCam 11 PSI pump, and that's the pump I want to run. I want to run more pressure than I need because I'm running a bypass regulator system. I checked the model number of this bypass that TCC sent me, and this bypass is not for a pulse pump like you bolt into the block. This bypass is for a belt drive pump. And this bypass has got the hole drilled through the middle of the baffle, so a certain amount of fuel goes through it all the time. And I couldn't set it up the way I was told, because I was told that, you know, like run it, you know, just, you know, motor sitting there idling, set it to, you know, 7 to 8.5 pounds fuel pressure, and make sure that the float level is at 1/3, you know, of the sight window right there. Well, I couldn't do that because this bypass regulator right here, when you're sitting here idling, you're like 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. You know, it's like it doesn't matter what you turn it up to because the bypass hole, it's bypassing. And so it's like, well, where are you at? So I had way too much pressure, I believe. I had her run all the way down. I had way too much pressure. Now, why didn't that give me a problem that was obvious to me earlier? Well, I don't know. I don't know if things have changed, you know, or not. I don't believe they should have changed. I don't think things like mate and seat differently, but I'm not an expert on fuel systems to that level. That's why I'm asking for some feedback if you are. But I turned around, and last night before the feature, I backed out the regulator screw on this thing. I just went out like 4 turns, and like I got it like spring like backed halfway off from where it was. And you know, the other thing I got to do is I got to go back and look at where my float level is. Like just sitting here, I pulled it up and cut it off. And I mean, I'm sitting at that like 1/3. The fuel is like 1/3 in the sight window right there is where it's at. But I'm going to fire it up and run it, check it, make sure it's still where it's supposed to be. But that doesn't mean that that's where it's at when I'm, you know, going down the straightaway at full throttle. I don't know how this belt drive type regulator works with this. Is it that like it should be this gauge, but you're going to have to run, or it should be this bypass, but you're going to have to run a gauge and you're going to have to like run a camera and, you know, see what it is down the straightaway and make adjustments? Or is it that like this type of a regulator bypass, it has to go? Like this was the wrong one, I was sent the wrong one, you know, whatever. I don't know. Some of you've got experience with a system like this. I could use some help. Okay, I just could. I'm totally honest about this. That frustrated me last night because like when I was in the feature and I backed this regulator off, it got better. So I know it was fuel overrunning it because when I was trying to lift slowly and trail brake in so that I didn't come completely off that throttle so that the motor didn't get drowned. And I would do that, and so what would happen is the motor was no longer cutting off, it was just going really heavy on me. And so I would, you know, in other words, I could tell like as I would pick the throttle back up, you know, I was like, and it would like climb its way out. It would be missing some, and then it would start picking up and it would catch. But it was just extremely difficult to drive on that slick track because what happens, this motor right here, I mean, like when it would pick up and it pick up all 8 cylinders and you're, you know, halfway into the throttle, it's just like a bomb went off on your back tires when it catches. I mean, it just light them up, just boom. And of course, if I'm down in the turn, working, you know, around the bottom, it's just immediately kicking my rear end out, you know. And when I was up on the top, unless I actually had the right rear stuck into what little bit of cushion was there, there really wasn't anything there. I tried it, I could not make it work. But I think it's because I didn't have throttle control. And I'm running out of time. Me and Kim were talking about it last night. We've got maybe 3 or 4 more opportunities to run this car, and then we're going to the Street Stock Nationals. And my expectation is to take a competitive car that qualifies into the feature to the Street Stock Nationals. I am definitely running out of time. I've got to resolve every issue on this engine before I get to that. I think on the setup wise, I'm about there. But I know I need to do some tuning on that. I know I'm not quite there on my chain length, my adjustment to make. When do I need to preload more for track conditions? When less? Well, I need some good laps with everything else working to figure that out. So a little aggravated. So overall, I think the thing that I was frustrated about the most is that I knew I was really close on the setup and the car could have been really competitive, and like a new gremlin had reared its head to keep me from being able to do that. And that just had me aggravated all night long. And you know, that really affects you. So that then was affecting my driving. Watching the footage and everything, I definitely was overdriving the car a lot at times. And that's a combination, you know, of the frustration, chasing the throttle and everything. I am not a perfect driver by any means. And that you can see the difference there. Like I get into my Camaro and like I got back in it. If you watch the video, because you're subscribed, you saw the video where I jumped in Rachel's Camaro, right? Just go back a video. But anyway, so I jumped in it, and like after I got back used to it, after being out of it for 2 years, just shot straight to the front. And so it's like, you know, because I know like that car's old hat to me. It's like once me and it got back into agreement on how it needed to be drove, we're good. And it's like I feel like at this point I'm getting to the point where I know how this car wants to be drove, and like I can dive to the bottom or I can shoot to the top. You know, and the car didn't get out from under me, and it kind of does what I expect. And so I'm like, hey, you know, we're kind of grooving now, all right? I'm getting you. We're getting there, right? You know, and then a new gremlin shows up. I'm having fuel problems and stuff. So I get the oil leaks fixed now I got carburetor problems. So I'm like, ah. But regardless, dirt race life, you get it. It is what it is. Really appreciate y'all. Got a couple new sponsors on. Mr. Charlie Perry was at the track last night with his 99 car. He's got a great driver. And they got a few gremlins they're chasing, but they were fast. That was really neat for one of my sponsors to be at the same track with me and me see, like, you know, He sponsored me, but I should be listening to him because they blow the doors off me last night. So I appreciate that, Mr. Charlie. I thank all of y'all. We could not have been there without y'all. All right, I'll see you next time.